Back in the 70s and 80s, we loved playing with action figures, but at times we had to put them up because we wanted to play with our ride-on toys. Let's take a look at some of the weird and wacky toys that you can ride on. Yep, ride-on toys. Can you believe it? And I'm not talking about when your dad used to put you on his knee. Can I get my knee up here? Remember, you do like that, and you try to stay on like you're, I don't know, like you Chris LeDouge or something. But we're talking about ride-on toys. There was a lot of cool ones. There's a lot of weird ones. I bet you had at least one of these, or maybe your friend up the road had one of them. These were mostly when you're a little, when you're probably about toddler age. What's toddler age? 4 to 6, probably around there. When you're a 10-year-old, you wouldn't be doing many ride-ons. But there were some for bigger kids too. We'll look at them. So let's start digging into these ride-on toys. And we'll start with the cool one, Yamaha. Look at this. This is like a spring action one. Remember those spring action ones that made horses and stuff? I had a horse one. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But look at this. Yamaha #1. You get on there, you just bounce, 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 bounce. Oh, man, it's like you're riding your motorcycle over a bumpy road. That's cool right there. But is it cool as this? Remember this? This is one I think everybody had, or you knew somebody had if you went to a daycare or a kindergarten. We went to a Montessori. I don't even know what that means. It was like kindergarten, but they called it a Montessori. Sounds like something from Jurassic Park. But here's the inchworm. You put this on and you up and down, 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 up and down. Man, I could use one of these inchworms today. Might put me in shape. How about this thing? I don't remember the name of it. It was weird. It was a big old piece of plastic, like a big old bowl you sit in. Had these big old wheels, and you just do them like this. I can remember them going in circles. I'm sure they went straight too. I just remember one at the playground kid had. I don't know who he was. Never knew his name. It was always weird when I went to a playground. It was a kid I didn't know. I was like, hey, this playground's in my neighborhood. All the kids go to the school up the road. Who are you? But he would do this and spin around and everything. It looked really cool, but he's one of those kids that wouldn't let you touch any of his toys. You know some of those kids. Look at the inchworm already. I hit the wrong button. And this is another one that you probably had at your daycare. Had a little squeaky horn on it. That's a good sound. I impressed myself. I didn't practice that. I like it. I'll never be able to do it again. See? It's not the same now. Sometimes the seat on some of these, not this one, I don't think the seat would open. You can put your toys inside of it. So that was always cool. How about this right here? Look like somebody got a skateboard and nailed it to a piece of wood and put wheels on it. But no, this is just a little cheap little one. Again, you're probably about 4 or 5. You're like, I mean, you couldn't ride this thing when you're 10. Let's be honest. This thing was too low to the ground. You wasn't gonna ride on it as a 10-year-old. How about Winnie the Pooh ride-on? That's right. You want to go get some honey? Well, you can. You can get on your Winnie the Pooh. You can go like, I'm going to go see Tigger. You could do it. You could do it. But you could also ride on this. I guess it's a ride. Do you count this as a ride-on toy? Sit and spin. A staple of the 70s. The sit and spin. Unless you was one of those little fat kids that was too fat and it would just crush the spinning wheel and it wouldn't spin. You sit there and try and it was just, you're too heavy for it. It's like, do not exceed 200 pounds and you weighed about 350 because you are a fat little kid. Yeah, sure. Your aunt like to squeeze you on the cheek like this, but the rest of us made fun of you. I know. We're kids. Kids didn't know any better. How about this? A ride-on tugboat. Has little wheels on it. First I thought this thing was for a pool or something, but no, it's got wheels on it. I don't know. This isn't one of my videos where I do the bully beatdown list, but if it was, especially if you had a sailor hat. There's no guy in this world ever looked cool wearing a sailor hat. Never. It's never happened, especially a little kid. How about a Big Bird? I don't know if I told y'all before, but I don't like Big Bird. I know. He's like, everybody likes him. He's always saying, you want to rock out with your beak out? No, I don't want to rock out with my beak out, Big Bird. Sorry, I don't. I didn't like his voice. He was just always really creepy to me. Kind of like that Ronald McDonald dude. Remember that Ronald McDonald dude? I think he worked for Burger King or Wendy's or something. He was always selling hamburgers and looked real creepy. Hanging out in the park talking to kids. I didn't like that guy. Didn't like that guy at all. How about a ride-on tractor? Whew. You ride this down the road, hoping the girls see you, be like, hey, little Betty thinks my tractor's sexy. No, she don't. No, she don't. She just thinks she's cool because you got a ride-on toy. She don't have a ride-on toy yet. She's 3. She don't got a ride-on toy. She's only 3. So that's why the only reason she like watching you ride your tractor. How about this? It's like a ride-on bike chopper thing. If anything on this list screams 70s, it's probably this. This thing screams 70s. Look at it. It's pretty badass. And yeah, it has a pink seat. But still, it's pretty bad. I think this one might have been made for girls. I see the flowers on it and everything, but I'm not judging. But it's pretty badass looking if you ask me. What about this thing? I don't even know what it is. Is it an alien? Is it a worm? Is it gingivitis? I don't know what it is. It's got big old eyes. It's got a weird looking Beatles wig on. I'm not sure what it is. But it's nice looking. It looks like a little comfortable seat. I'm going to be honest with you. How about this? A ride-on cheetah banana. Did you even know about this thing? This is crazy. Talk about getting beat. Imagine you was 8 years old and you went outside and the dorky kid down the street was riding a banana. You wouldn't beat him up because you'd be laughing too hard. You'd be laughing for days. It'd be nighttime. Your mom would be like, the street lights on, Kevin. Come inside. You're like, I can't. I'm laughing at the kid riding a banana. Now, hold on. You think it's bad getting caught riding a banana? It could be worse. What if you got caught riding a damn pickle? It's not even a sweet pickle. A damn pickle. A ride-on pickle. I bet when you click this video, you didn't think you would see somebody talking about a ride-on pickle. One thing. If you're going to ride on a pickle, do it in privacy. Don't tell other people about it. Go in your backyard when no one's around and ride all the pickles you want to. How about ketchup? Just gets worse. Banana, that's pretty bad. Pickle, that's awful. Who's going to ride a bottle of ketchup? Oh, strange world. What is this? Some kind of weird looking deformed rabbit. What? Doesn't even like goes fast. I don't know about you. If I had a ride-on toy, I wanted to go fast. Look at this one. A police car. Be cool if it was chips. Be cool if it had a CB radio in it. What'd he say? I don't know. This CB doesn't work. It's made out of plastic. What'd he say? There's a bear in the air. You are the bear. Get out of there. Oh, let me go over here. How about this one from the 80s? Yep. That's it. Back to the Future. Marty, get in. We going back in time. Going back in time. Remember that song? Who sung that? I don't know. Some Asian guy. Going back in time. That's the only part of the song I know. How about the ride-on horse? I had the ride-on horse. Well, I don't know if I had it. Somebody in my house had it because it was always under the house. It was always broke. Like one spring was missing. And it was always under the house. And we'd get it and we'd pull it out and sit on it. And one big spring would be broke and we'd be playing with it. I think this might be the one I had. But I don't know. I don't remember ever being inside the house that I was playing with it. It was just always under the house for some reason. Strange. How about this thing? What is that, Junkman? What is that? Is it Star Wars related? Yes, it is. But sadly, it was never released. You would sit on this thing, it would project an image on the wall. You could act like you were shooting at it and everything. Had a little comm panel in the front of it. It looks like it would have been pretty cool. I don't know why they didn't do it. I wish they did, because it looks like it would have been pretty darn cool, if you ask me anyway. The greatest of all ride-on toys, right? The speeder bike. These wasn't even sold. They was given away. About 100, 150, maybe more. I did a whole video on it. But man, tell me you wouldn't have looked cool having this thing. This thing is awesome. Imagine you're at your house, everybody's riding the bicycle, and here you come. That's the squeaking sound, you know, part because your dad didn't know it. But man, I guess you wouldn't be riding it like this. Yeah, I guess you would be riding it like this. Maybe I don't know how you turn to this thing. It looks like it's hard to drive. Let's be honest with you. The freaking green machine. Was there anything cooler than the green machine? You might have been 8 years old, but you got every girl's digits in the neighborhood. Even some of the mamas. Was like, I gotta hang out with that kid. He's got a green machine. You laugh at the kid. The other kid's got a big wheel, and here you come rolling up in your dang green machine.
This is the Green Machine. Green Machine. 8, 9, 10 years old enough for Green Machine. A racer for guys who like a ride that's really fast. Stick shift controls, swivel action rear wheels, twist, turn, and spin like wild. Green Machine. What a ride! Yeah. Green Machine with stick shift steering, some assembly required. Green Machine by Marks.
Green Machine. Talking about big wheel, there you go, right there, big wheel. Remember when some of them had a brake on the wheel. Remember you pull it up like this, you could slide out. Oh, there's nothing more satisfying than coming down a big hill on your plastic wheels and hitting that thing. And whew, always within a month you would have one wheel that was really flat because you would do it too much. You know, it would scrape against the concrete, or maybe the brake part, I didn't probably no padding on it or anything. Oh man, the big wheel. Look at that, it was only $15.88. And that's back in the 70s. Hit the wrong button again, Junkman. I don't know what I'm doing. How about, we talk about ride-on horse, how about a ride-on Cringer? I didn't know about this thing as a kid. I would have been too old for it, but it would have been awesome. I saw one at an antique store, God, probably about 10 years ago. I didn't even know about it, and I thought it was something somebody made. And it was an antique store that was like 3 hours away from my house. I didn't have no way to get it home. I sure wish I bought it. It would have been awesome to have. Would have been big, would have been in the way, but wouldn't you like to have that, be honest? Whew, it's pretty cool. And I did a whole video on this too if you want to learn more about it. It kind of tanked the views, nobody really cared. I don't know why. I thought it was kind of a cool little toy there. But let's move on. We just moved on to a fat kid riding a Rambo ride-on big wheel. Doesn't even have a shirt on. Is there no shame? No one had shame in the 80s. Look at them fat rolls. He doesn't even have shoes on. I don't know what made me. I hated seeing a boy with no shirt on back in the 80s when I was a kid. No shoes were bad enough, but I couldn't stand those kids that wanted to play with no shirt on. I'm sure you've seen them too. You might have been one of them. There was always some boy that didn't mind taking his shirt off. Go to the pool, take the shirt off. Go to the beach, take your shirt off. Just walking around the street, take your shirt off. And it was worse when it was a fat kid. Nobody want to see your jelly roll. Anyway, that's a look at some ride-on toys. Which one of these did you have? Which one of these do you wish you had? I'm sure you had at least one. I bet you had that worm. Be honest, you had that worm, and maybe the green machine if you were cool.
It's why I love you. Ride up and down and up and down.